Welcome to the hardest working man in real estate show. Today's episode is title insurance. I am your host, Gus Morquecho, the original hardest working man in real estate. Title insurance for a property is extremely important. I'm honored and privileged to have the account manager for Meridian Title, Palmer Myers. Welcome, Palmer.
Hey, Gus, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Our first question here, Palmer, is what does a title company do for a seller?
It sounds corny, but title insurance gives your customer a peace of mind that they're getting a free and clear title. Title is your ownership right to your property. No home buyer wants to inherit existing debts or legal issues that can interfere with their property rights in the future. Clear title allows you to use or modify your property. And what we do in a title search is our search team searches the records to look to see for judgments such as mortgages, federal tax liens, mechanics liens, that type of thing. We check the tax records to make sure the taxes are up to date. If there are taxes due, there's penalties. That's all included in what's called the title commitment, which is a report that we put together to do the closing, and the numbers from that title commitment actually go on the closing statement that the buyer and seller see.
Fantastic. That's extremely important. Second question here is, why is title insurance important in the sale of a home?
There are a lot of different reasons that why you should have title insurance, and I will provide these to the hardest working man in real estate, Gus Morquecho. And it's a file we put together. Why do I need title insurance? Just some of the different things that title insurance helps you with. Deeds to or from defunct corporations, deeds by minors, deeds by aliens, errors in tax records, gaps in the chains of title. That stuff a title company will look for, put it on the report, so when you, the buyer, are now the owner of the property, you're getting a home free and clear of any liens or encumbrances, and you can enjoy your home.
Fantastic. That's extremely important. Third question here, Palmer, is what exactly is title search?
A title search, like we just talked a little bit earlier, is we go back quite a number of years in the public records, and like I said earlier, we pull out the mortgages. We get the payoffs for those for the customer. There could be a mechanics lien. Let me explain what that is. Let's say, for example, Gus, you had some work done on your house, a roof was put on, and for some reason, maybe you got in a disagreement, didn't pay the bill. The roofer goes to the county and places a lien. So when you go to sell that property, he or she's going to get paid.
Yeah.
And that type of stuff will be on there. Federal tax liens, a lien on a property, as a matter of fact, a judgment entered in the docket of the Indiana court, and the lien stays for 10 years.
Wow.
The only difference is the federal tax liens stay a little longer.
Got you. Last question here, Palmer, is what is a common question you're asked?
And this is another some information I'll leave to Gus, and he can have these on his listing presentations or when he's working with you, the buyer. Is one of the biggest question I get is, how do you want to take title? And it's one of the things. I was a realtor in my former life, and that's one of the things I do remember. And there's two main types. There's tenancy in common, and a tenancy in common is Gus and I buy a property together, and let's say, God forbid, one of us passes away. Their share goes to their heirs, and that's what's called joint tenants in common. And then the other one is joint tenancy with full rights of survivorship. Obviously, you see that with marriages quite a bit. Maybe as people get older in life, they might deed their children on the property. And that all what joint tenancy with rights of survivorship is saying is that if something happens to either party, their interest goes to the other party directly, not to their heirs.
Got you. Fantastic. Well, Palmer, thank you. You've been very informative. If you find this informative, click the subscribe button for the weekly Hardest Working Man in Real Estate show. Again, Palmer Myers from Meridian Title. Stay safe.